And we are live. Good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm super glad to have you here. And in today's class, we're going to just be talking about raising thriving kids in the 21st century. My name is Olayemi Mike-Okhimhe, and I'm the founder of Kids Startup Book Club. I help equip kids with life skills to stand up for what is right and stand out from the crowd. And I'm super duper delighted to be here. I'm glad that you're also here to join us to learn together. I'm here to learn equally as you are. Do me well to reintroduce yourself on the comment section so that I can send you and give you virtual org. All right, welcome. In today's section, we're going to be talking more on raising thriving kids. And so, what are the objective of today's masterclass? First of all, we're going to be looking at what does it mean to what does it mean for a child to thrive in the 21st century? Why should we take this parents? It's enabling my kids as a parent, is enabling kids that are not thriving. The quote here is by Frederick Douglass. It says, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And that is why I want to spend a while just to celebrate you. For you being here means your heart desire is to build children that are strong, is to build children that are bold, is to build children that will make impact in their generation, is to build children that will take their place and do what they are meant to do and fulfill purpose. Now let's move on to the next slide. It says we want to look at what does it take, what does it mean for a child to thrive. Means they are developing well in all aspects of life. And what does that mean? I always say developing in the positive alleys. And that is physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially. For a child to thrive, it simply means this child needs to develop be grounded in the spirit, in the mind, and in the body. We need to get to a point where we equip our children to flourish in this world. And how can we equip them? They need to be developed in every aspect of their lives. Thriving encompasses more than just meeting basic needs. It involves achieving a holistic sense of well-being and the ability to reach their full potentials. Please, if you're watching, kindly do me well to indicate introduce yourself on the comment section, I would like special way. All right. Every child has divine assignments. Every child has divine assignment to fulfill in this world. However, many of these kids fail because we as parents, we do not rise up to this task. We have not gotten to the point where we ourselves are fulfilling destiny. So how can we help our children? How can we teach our children to reach their full potential when network? Holy Spirit, help us with this network. Help us with the network, please. Okay, the network is a bit bad. I apologize for that. It keeps going off and on. All right. Proverbs 22, verse 6 says, teach your child the way to go. And even when he is old, he will not depart from that way. What are you teaching your children? Are you helping your children to thrive at all? In this situation where things are not going on the way they are supposed to go, how are we helping our children to thrive? 21st century, we need to rise. 21st century, then we need to rise up as parents to the task. This quote says, the greatest legacy one can pass to one's children and grandchildren, it's not money or, or, or other material things. Many of it is not about the money or the material things accumulated in one's life, but rather a legacy of character and faith. A legacy of character and faith. I need you to know that every child has divine assignments to fulfill. Every child is called as they are like a puzzle that when they fit into the right place, they shine. They make our society better. However, we have disempowered our children. God has empowered them. But what we are doing is disempowering them by not making them to be rooted in the right, by not making them to be balanced in every areas of their lives. So why should we raise thriving kids? This is a question that we need to ask ourselves. Many of us don't know why we should even raise children that will thrive in this 21st century. them makes an impression. What are you allowing to fall? What kind of impression are you allowing to fall on your kids? How are you building them? Many of us, we are just creating wrong impressions in the heart of our children, not knowing that they are like wet cement. They are like wet raising thriving kids serious. Number one, kids, the topmost reason is to fulfill purpose, to fulfill God's purpose of their lives, on their lives. The topmost reason why you as a parent to raise that children to your children to thrive, our children to thrive in the 21st century is they are created to every child, but parents, we always disempower them because we lack knowledge. Bible says many lack many because they lack understanding and wisdom. They are ignorant of knowledge. They are ignorant. Many are perished because they lack wisdom. They lack understanding. And so, because we lack understanding, because we lack knowledge, we disempowered our children. We disempower them from fulfilling God's purpose with the way we parent them, with the way we do things with them, we disempower them. Another reason why we need to raise them is because of the way the place they find themselves. Many of you will agree with me that the distractions, the level of distractions in this generation is way higher compared to when we were like them. They have data devices, tablets, computers without any structures, smartphones, distractions everywhere. They don't even have time to think, to think like a child. The social media, you will see children, you will see teenagers dance on TikToks, on because they are distracted. Video games. I remember there was a time when I was still doing lesson. When I go into that house to teach the younger daughter, this he was a teenager at that point. I think that was about 4 years ago. And this boy, for 2 hours that I was teaching the young sister, his young sister, he was busy playing games and he was not bothered. Even when his mom entered, he didn't bother to greet his mom. He just continued with what he was doing. He was engrossed with video games. We also have television. The children will stay, they will watch cartoon, and that's why we see children behaving like cartoons. Behaving, they'll talk, they'll turn, they will do like this and like that. And another one is peer pressure. We need to take raising thriving kids serious. Number two thing is kids can't stand up for themselves, let alone what is right. Where I find myself when I was young. I was bullied by my teachers, some of my teachers, my classmates. I allowed all the negative talks. I couldn't stand up for myself because I was not, I was disempowered. And so I allowed those negative talks to enter into me, shaped my life, and what I was reasoning became my reality. Even as an adult, I struggled until I laid hold on a book. My senior partner, Holy Spirit, my senior partner, that book was written by Young Cho. That book was what transformed my life. And after reading that book, I fell in love with reading books. And ever since then, when I became aware, self aware, I made up my mind that no kids in my watch. Kids needs to learn how to taking well in academics, then they are not emotionally grounded. They can't relate with their friends. They're not socially grounded. They can't relate. They don't have friends. They'll tell you, Mommy, I don't have friends. Daddy, I don't have friends. I don't even want to have friends. They don't relate with anybody. They just put themselves on computer, be on computer 247. They go to school, come back, be on computer 247. They struggle with living a balanced life. How emotion manage his emotion when he does not know how to relate with others, knowing fully well that the life is beyond living alone. You can't live alone if you want to make global impact. You can't. Then the last one is the irresponsibility of young citizens is on the rise. And that's why we need to rise up as parents. Rise up as parents to stand up and get back to the basics. Do the right thing and raise our children to thrive in in this society that they find themselves. Since okay, one of my coach, one of my coach will say, flood is coming, fire is coming, and when it comes to test our work, will we be able to stand? Will our children be able to stand? When we are talking about LGBTQ plus, these things are everywhere. Will your children be able to stand this? Will your children be able to stand this? Will they be able to? Will your children be able to stand pressure, peer pressure, when their friends come to tell you, oh, it's boy that's raining, it's girl that is raining now. Let me just give you a tip. Will your children be able to say no? And that is why it is important for us now as parents. I'm not talking to you alone, I'm talking to myself also. For us to stand up and raise kids that will thrive in this century, that will so that we will not disempower our children. God has already given them a special gift they will end up saying, he said, I joined them now. Let me just join them. Since like, we need to rise up to raise thriving kids. We need to take it very serious. We need to take it very serious. Now we move on to the next thing. How my role as a parent is enabling kids that are not thriving. Zig Ziglar says the the best way to raise positive children in a negative world. Is anybody watching? Can you hear me? Okay, I want to find out if you can hear me. I'm not seeing any message. Can you hear me? I want to know if you can hear me. Let me see if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, 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 okay. Thank you. All right. The best way to raise positive children in a negative world is to have positive parents who love them unconditionally, serve as excellent role models. I'm going to take that again. The best way to raise positive children in a negative world, no doubt this is a negative world, is to have positive parents who love them unconditionally and serve as excellent role models. Now let's look at this. If we want to empower our children, we don't want to disempower them. One of the ways how we're enabling kids that are not thriving is that we do not spend quality time with our children. We don't spend quality time with our children. When you prefer providing basic needs, giving them presents instead of you to be present, what happens is that your children will not thrive. God forbid. But like my coach will always say, God forbid is not a strategy. We enable our kids not to thrive when we leave them to housemaid, when we leave them only to lesson teachers to teach them. Let's change our ways by trying to spend quality time with your children. Spend time with them. Talk with them. Play with them. Quality time with your children. Spend while you are enabling kids as a parent not to thrive in this 21st century is you do not express your love. Just because your parents did not express love to you, they didn't show a whole lot of care to you, you are not replicating that thing with your children. You don't touch them, you don't hug them, you don't say I love you to them, you find it difficult. And what happened in the long run is they go search for love out there. They go search love from wrong people. They go search for love in the wrong places. They go search for love and I touch them. You can't pamper them. We find difficult to say I love our children. Let me reason a child that will not thrive when you don't express your love to them. The second thing that you need to do is that does not enable a thriving child is we do not model positivity to them. Many of us are modeling negatively to our children. All the bad is in you. To read is a problem. You spend 100 hours on social media. You dance and post. You dance with bomb shots and post on the social media. Children will do times 100 you expect. What do you expect? Like father, like son, like mother, like daughter. If you want to remove, if you want to raise children that will thrive in the 21st century, you need to model children. They do, they imitate what they see and what to say. They imitate what they see rather than what you say. So what are they saying through you? What are you doing in front of them? What are the negative things that you're doing that will or could implicate you in future? Stop it. Our heart desire is to see our children do better. When you see your child standing on that global stage, say, oh, that's my daughter. That is, and you start eating your chest. And you start breathing, oh, that is my son. That is my daughter. If you have not modeled positively, there is no one stand on that stage. There is no one that you will call your own that will stand on that global stage. We do not train them to be balanced kids. Many of us here are corporates. Surely, at least my children needs to read. Oh, no time to read motivational books. No time to do presentation. No time to do this. No time to do that. No time to do this. We do not raise them to be balanced. They are not well grounded financially. They can't relate with people. They behave like somebody that they are using remote control on them. They cannot manage their emotions. They will get angry, beat their sister, beat their brother, beat everyone down. They do not know how it feels. 1,000. They will use it in 30 seconds to buy biscuits because you have not taught how to manage their finances, how to spend, how to save. Okay, don't let me go there. Don't let me go. We just focus. Our major focus is academics. He's not doing well. He's not carrying first. Oh, he's not carrying first. Oh, not carrying first. The whole school is in trouble. He's not carrying first. He needs to sit down and read. After lesson, go to the after school lesson. After lesson, he eats. After eating, he goes back to reading. After reading the school book, he goes to bed and sleep. In the morning, off to school. How can that child thrive? How can that child make impact? And that's why many first class, many second class, third class, the first class are working for them. Why? They are not balanced. You have not raised them to be balanced kids. You have not raised them to be grounded in every other areas of their lives. Will you change? Will you change your ways? Will you change your ways? If we want our society to get better, our, our children to make impact, we need to parent well. We will need to stand up and to know that it is my responsibility and not God's responsibility. God has empowered us. He has given us all the gift to raise that child, to empower that child. God has even empowered that child already. So the question is, what are you doing? Are you disempowering the child? Are you disempowering your child? Is a big question that you need to ask today. How have I been disempowering my child? How have I not been helping my child to thrive? What do I need to do to help my children to thrive? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Fictional books, you say no. They're having an exam in 2 months' time. They cannot read motivational books. They do this. My life turned around when I started reading motivational books. When I noticed that my kids were following my patterns when I was young, I knew I had to do something if I want to raise thriving children. And so, what did I do? I introduced reading of motivational books to them. Voila, things changed. They became better. Yes, they are not perfect. None of us is perfect. It's only God. They keep growing every day. They are now better version of themselves. I'm glad. Yes, they are not where they yet. They are not there yet. They are not perfect yet. They they moving. So, dear parents, stop disempowering your kids. Start putting structures into those distractions you've given your kids. Many of you buy video games. Let's not come back to you allowing them to read. But you bought video games and they equal when you are not at home. They spend 5 hours, they go to that video game and go play video game till the morning, and they go to school and go and sleep. And so academic life is affected. They can't relate, they are not balanced. Will it change? Okay, so that is it for today. I want to appreciate everyone who stood back to watch the video. What are your learning points? Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything? You're watching, can you please type on the comment section? See you next week Friday. And in community, you can zero now. You can see the number on the screen. Just send a DM that you want your child to join in. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next week Friday. God bless you.